Ladies and gentlemen, the commencement ceremony celebrating the classes of 2020 and spring and summer 2021 for Old Dominion University is about to begin. Legend has it that students should never walk across the seal until their commencement day. Please join Big Blue in this time-honored campus tradition. Welcome to the commencement ceremony of Old Dominion University, celebrating the classes of 2020 and spring and summer 2021. The singing of the national anthem will now be performed by Senior Lecturer of Music, Dr. Kelly Montgomery.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am Dr. Austin Agro, Provost and Vice President for Academic Affairs for Old Dominion University. I am proud to be the first to welcome all of you to this virtual commencement ceremony and to congratulate the class of 2020 and the spring and summer 2021 degree to candidates. Our ceremony tonight is in your honor to celebrate your successful achievements and to express our pride in your accomplishments. You are a special group of students. You did not allow the COVID-19, the pandemic, to stop you from achieving your educational goal. And today, we recognize this extraordinary milestone in your education. Though you may think you have reached the end of the journey, today marks the beginning of the next phase of your lives as graduates of Old Dominion University. You are now joining a diverse group of alumni who are excelling in their careers and making a big difference in their communities. We look forward to hearing the stories of your continued success.
Good evening. I am Don Stansberry, Vice President for Student Engagement and Enrollment Services. Every day, I am inspired by our students and your generosity, compassion, and resilience. It is no surprise that these values that define your character have been on full display in this past year, but also throughout the duration of your time here at Old Dominion University. I have had the privilege to watch you embrace our core values with commitment to service, continuous learning, and building community connections. You have pursued individual passions, designed projects that go beyond your assignments, and leaned into discomfort, all while finding joy in hard work. I am truly proud of each of you, and I look forward to offering my congratulations both virtually and in person. You've come a long way, but it's nothing compared to how far you'll go. Reign on. It is now my honor to welcome Kay Kemper, Rector of Old Dominion University's Board of Visitors.
The job of the Board of Visitors is, in part, to guide the university through transitions and periods of crisis. I think we can all agree that the past 15 months certainly qualify on both accounts. I want to take a moment to congratulate you for your perseverance, your flexibility, and your commitment to your education. In March of 2020, as ODU moved quickly to respond to the crisis at hand, you met the challenge. Many of you shifted quickly from in-person to online learning, and you did that in the midst of concern for your health and the health of the people you love. The global pandemic has been a slow-rolling crisis where a new beginning is just now on the horizon. That you have carried on to this day is evidence that you've built another life skill you will call on again and again, the life skill of resilience. Through it all, your university leadership has been steadfastly committed to your health and safety and to doing all in its power to help you achieve your goals. I can't imagine how we would have weathered this challenging period without the extraordinary leadership of our retiring president, John R. Broderick. Over the past several weeks, the university community has been celebrating his many accomplishments as the longest serving president in ODU history. More than 50 new facilities and projects have come to fruition on his watch, and they did so because of President Broderick's sustained effort, collaboration with partners like the Virginia General Assembly, and his ability to share an ambitious vision with the full community. When you return for homecoming in the years to come, I'm sure you'll see many other innovations, programs, and initiatives because ODU is always evolving to meet the future. And we are so proud of the unique role you will play in putting your ODU degree to work in the larger world. On behalf of the Board of Visitors, I want to extend hearty congratulations on the achievement you celebrate today and to all those you'll make in the years to come. Thank you.
I'm honored to share in today's celebration and congratulate you on this remarkable achievement. Though the circumstances of this ceremony are different, the significance of this milestone in your life is not. Many of you, like me, are first in your families to go to college, demonstrating firsthand that dedication and perseverance do pay off. Our guest speaker, U.S. Senator Mark Warner, is also a first-generation college graduate. He spent 20 years as a successful technology and business leader in Virginia before entering public office. He co-founded the company that became Nextel and invested in hundreds of startup technology companies that created 10,000 jobs here in Virginia. During his tenure as governor of the Commonwealth, he was a champion for STEM-age education. That helped pave the way for Old Dominion University to produce the second largest percentage of science, technology, engineering, mathematics, and health science graduates among doctoral institutions in Virginia. He's currently serving his third term in the U.S. Senate, where he sits on the Senate Finance, Banking, Budget, and Rules Committees, and chairs the Select Committee on Intelligence. An established bipartisan leader, he has increased government performance and accountability and promoted private sector innovation and job creation. Senator Warner is a recognized champion in the fight for our military men, women, and veterans. Ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure to introduce to you Senator Mark Warner.
Hi, I'm Virginia Senator Mark Warner. I know these are strange, tough times to be graduating from Old Dominion University, but I just want to say congratulations. You made it. Before I start, I want to take a moment to congratulate President John Broderick on a well-deserved retirement. Under his leadership, ODU has made important advancements in research and innovation. President Broderick should take great pride in his 12 years of service to the university, to all of Hampton Roads, and to the Commonwealth. Like all of you, I wish we could be celebrating this important milestone in person. But look on the bright side. Since we're doing this over video, I'm shaving a whole 12 minutes off my remarks. That never happens in the Senate. Today, I want to quickly offer you graduates 3 pieces of advice that I've distilled over my lifetime in business and in public service. Then I'll get out of the way so that you can safely celebrate with your friends and family. My first piece of advice might be a little bit hard to hear right now as you face so much uncertainty, but I think it's as important now as ever. And that advice is, don't be afraid to fail. As 2021 graduates, many of you are heading out into unknown territory. I know, I don't have to tell you that the job market looks drastically different today than what it did even before the pandemic started. Even age-old practices like networking, interviewing, or starting a new job look differently than they did before. That said, if anyone can handle these challenges, it's your generation. As these past several years have demonstrated, young Americans are smart, capable, and innovative. You're willing to take on our nation's biggest challenges and aren't afraid to chart your own paths in doing so. You're all also incredibly resilient. Just think of all the ways you've had to adapt over the course of the last 14 months. And yes, although we've struggled immensely, there is hope for better days ahead, with more and more folks getting vaccinated each and every day. Now, while I've never graduated in the midst of a worldwide pandemic, I know a little bit about challenges and specifically failures. The truth is, whether it's business or politics, at first I failed in everything I did. Matter of fact, if I think about my business career, I failed not once, but twice before I was able to find some success in my third attempt at business in what was then a newfound industry called cell phones. I started a company called Nextel. But long before that, as a young entrepreneur, my first two businesses literally went bankrupt. As a young entrepreneur, I went out at first and took my life savings, $5,000, invested it in this little energy startup business, went to work for that business, and that business went bankrupt in 6 weeks. My second venture was real estate. It took me 6 months to fail then. After those two bankruptcies, I was sleeping on my friends' couches, living out of my car. But then I was lucky enough that a friend of mine told me about a brand new technology. Now, this was 1982, and that new technology was called cell phones. I went to all my law school classmates who were practicing at big fancy law firms to see if they wanted to invest in my then new cell phone business. They all laughed and said, "Warner, you're really crazy. Who's going to want a telephone in the car? Get a real job." Well, those friends, most of them, are still practicing law. I was lucky enough then to get into cell phones, start Nextel, become a venture capitalist, and was blessed beyond my wildest dreams. So even in these enormously uncertain times, I encourage you all to follow your dreams and take risks. Because even in these great times of stress and loss, we still live in the greatest country in the world, where success is within everyone's reach. We've got to make sure that success and that chance for a fair shake extends to all Americans, no matter where they're born or what race they are, or who they worship or who they love. But that really is the possibility and potential of our country. So even as you graduate, don't be afraid to fail. Second piece of advice has to do with your responsibilities as graduates, as college graduates. Now that you've got a degree, you have the responsibility to be an engaged citizen, to make reasoned judgments for yourself, and making those judgments, that's a powerful thing. Truthfully, I think you owe it to yourself to use that power to hold public figures like me accountable for our promises and our actions, especially when we don't meet those promises or take sufficient actions. As you've seen in this past year, the decisions of just a few leaders at the top can have critical consequences for Americans throughout our whole country. So please stay engaged. Continue to try to work together to solve big problems and small problems, whether that involvement's at your community, at the Commonwealth, at the country, at the world. There are things you can do. Whether it's a COVID-19 response or the education that you're about to complete, what happens in your local community, in Richmond and Washington, affects all of us. And for the system to work, it needs your voice. And finally, my third and shortest and most important piece of advice. So listen carefully. Call your mother. Call your mother, call your father, call your grandparents, boyfriends, girlfriends, husbands, wives, because if you're honest with yourself, you know you didn't get to this graduation day alone. So as you graduate, seek out that special person who's encouraged and supported you on this journey, and tell them thanks. Tell them you love them. It'll make you feel better and them feel better as well. Because I know we're all a little bit tired of Zooming, Skyping, and FaceTiming. But even as we get vaccinated and return to our daily activities, it's so important to keep in touch with those who love us and support us through life's journey. So in closing, let me just say this. I know these are crazy times to be graduating, and you likely made a number of social and academic sacrifices to keep yourself and your community safe during this crisis. So today, I commend you for those sacrifices and overcoming the obstacles presented by the pandemic in order to complete your studies.
Thank you, Senator Warner. Mr. President, I now have the honor of congratulating the graduates of the class of 2020. I now present to you the spring and summer 2021 candidates who have completed the requirements for their undergraduate and advanced degrees, and who are duly recommended by the faculty for these degrees.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Visitors, and subject to completion of all requirements, I hereby confer upon you your respective earned degrees with all the rights, honors, privileges, and responsibilities thereto pertaining. Graduation candidates, you may now move your tassel to the left side of your cap. Congratulations. It has been my honor and privilege to serve as your university president for the past 13 years. You have enriched our lives in ways beyond measure. Both First Lady Kate Broderick and I wish you the best in all your future endeavors. Congratulations, Monarchs. You did it.
We will conclude our virtual ceremony with the singing of the alma mater. Thank you and congratulations.